Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what it is. It is episode 492 I.O.W. Sports Show Late Night Out Edition. Of course, it's Taco Tuesday. You know how I know it's Taco Tuesday? Because you get to see two of the most handsomest guys in the world talk sports. So, hey, I'm in the building. My brother Randy Weber's in the building. It's time to talk all kind of sports. Hey, there's been some gambling scandal going around. All right, all right. There's a certain alien in San Antonio that's been showing out for the first week of NBA. Hey, we got to recap week 8 of some NFL action. All right, and we'll also talk. Hall of Fame class of 2026 is starting to get shrunken down. There's some key names that advanced, getting closer to getting their gold jackets. We're gonna talk about it all. Hey, we appreciate y'all. Y'all know what it is. Let's get to it.
Yeah. Silent Hill TDS, what's up? Yeah, come on. I.O.W. Sports Network, Late Night Edition. Let's go. Come on.
We about to raise the bar. Wild card mark. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mark. We about to raise the bar. Wild card mark. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mark. Hey. L Boogie with the hot flame, ashtray full of top names, little tree for your membrane. This the 9-hour time frame. I just snatched up a 6-pack, got my hands on a lid pack, whipping up a little batch of snacks. Yeah, man, I think I'm all set. Late night, can't sleep. Go ahead and just tap in. Better grab you a cold one, and we about to get some laughs in. Wild card on the microphone, he'll hit you with a couple flurries. Y'all need to just strap in for some entertainment sports commentary. We about to raise the bar. Wild card mark. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mark. We about to raise the bar. Wild card mark.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what it is. We here. I.O.W. Sports Show, Late Night Owl Edition. We back at Taco Tuesday. Randy Weber's in the house. Wild Carmar's in the house. How you doing, bro? What's good?
I'm doing good. I mean, we lost the true face, the mascot, the unsung hero, the baby face of the NFL this weekend.
Damn.
And I could be doing better. Rest in peace, Cam Scatterbo.
Damn,
the true
man.
offensive rookie of the year.
Damn, man. Yeah, that was a tough injury. We'll talk about it for sure. I'm pretty sure you got a segment in there that you're probably going to go off on Zach Bond and probably some other things you'll get off your chest. So we'll definitely tap into that. All the other action in week 8. If anybody's not paying attention, the Hall of Fame committee has dwindled down some of their names that they're going to start putting together for the class of 2026. So we'll talk about it, who should be there, who shouldn't be, who possibly can get in, who might get left out. We'll talk about that. Obviously, man, a lot of breaking news that went down this weekend with the gambling scheme that went down. Oof, man, we'll definitely talk about that. But I want to start right here, big dog. I know we're only about a weekend to the NBA season. I know we are, and it's early. But if I were to give an MVP right now, hands down to me is going to the alien in San Antonio. We've been
Already? Yeah.
He's been ridiculous the first week. Like, my good. So here's the thing. I think we all knew as basketball fans that what he's doing now, he's always been capable of doing. It's the durability injury part that comes with Wembanyama that's always been kind of my kind of like, I'm not ready to all the way fully commit, buy in. And, I get it. We're only a weekend. There's a lot of opportunities for him to miss some time. All right. So a lot of opportunities for him to miss some time. But when's the last time you seen a 7'4" dude have handles coming down the court like this.
It's crazy because he basically can do everything. He doesn't really have any weaknesses. Like, he has the incredible size to post up, to block shots. He can handle well, and he can shoot well. So
Yeah.
you can't even exploit him by putting him at the foul line. Like,
He's-
there's
yeah.
nothing you can do. And
Pray.
yeah. So he was the very obvious favorite to win Depoy because 2 years ago he came in second. A lot of people thought that he should have won over Rudy Gobert because the difference in
Yeah.
the on-off splits for the defense of both teams, with Wemby on and off the court.
I think Rudy got it because he was on a better winning team.
Yeah, exactly. And that was also kind of the argument against him too, which is like, you're surrounded by really good defenders. Wemby single-handedly makes the San Antonio defense. So that was the argument for Wemby, but Rudy Gobert won. Last year, he was on pace to win it again, and then he got hurt.
Yep.
This year, if he stays healthy, he should win it. He also very easily could win MVP.
Mhm.
So he could be one of, I think, only a couple. I know MJ is one of them to win MVP and Depoy in the same year. I wouldn't even necessarily be surprised if that does end up happening between how well he's been playing and how much the media loves him. I could see that meshing for something great. And also, before, because the reason why San Antonio got him in the first place was because they were in the dirt, they were in the mud, and now, in addition to having Wemby, they have a pretty solid core of people around him now. Stephon Castle has looked really good. He's got to work on his free throws, but other than that, he has looked really good. I think Vassell has looked really nice.
Yeah.
Harrison Barnes has looked nice.
Yeah.
And then they're eventually going to get Fox back, who's going to be a great second option for him.
I'm glad you said that. I was like, they're doing all of this without D-Fox.
Right, exactly. And I think, personally, I think that Dylan Harper, the second overall rookie, has looked kind of rough. I know that a lot of people seem to disagree with me on that. I haven't watched every Spurs game so far, but if he really has the potential that his pick would suggest, then you have something there too.
Yeah.
This team could be a winning team. Like, this team could be a team that seeds pretty high, and if all of those things work together, then yeah, MVP and Depoy in the same year, not at all unreasonable.
Oh no, not at all. Like you said, it literally goes back to if Wembanyama can stay on the court. That's literally because when you were talking, you said, "Man, he has no weaknesses," and I'm like, the only one is he can stay on the court,
Right. Which is hard for somebody with his
size.
anatomy. Yeah. Right. When you got crazy
different.
legs like that, although I think that him putting on muscle in the offseason is going to be really helpful with that, because he was lanky and scrawny before. Now he's not. That might help.
No, it should help. And this might sound crazy. And so, but my name's Wildcard Martin. I'm not, shy of saying wild shit. So I'm just gonna say this. Wemby is doing what I thought Bol could have done and what Kristaps could have done. And the crazy thing about Kristaps, he's 29, so he still has time to actually turn his I guess the quote unquote stigma on his name. He can turn that around. He still got time. Because I think Wemby is almost in the same build of Bol and Kristaps. I mean, unicorn, clearly. There's not many like 7'3", 7'4", crazy wingspan. Offensive tool bag is elite as hell. Defensively, he's a freak. I mean, literally, the guy can he can play defense and offense in the same minute. Like, literally, he'll block your shot and he'll start the fast break. Like, literally, I just saw that the other day. The man literally started a fast break at 7'4" and then dribbled between the legs as if he was on an and one mixtape, bro.
Yeah.
Like, the dude is doing and one mixtape dribbling skills. So I'm not gonna go that far as saying he got the handles of Kyrie, but he ain't too shabby. He ain't shabby.
No, no, for sure. And I mean, he's set like some pretty insane records. I think the last record I saw was he has played, I think, like 800 something straight games, might be 700, 800, with a block. And the next person behind him, their record is 7 straight games with a block. Like that's the gap as a defender he is between everybody else.
He's the ultimate weapon, if you ask me.
Yeah, and if you can be very obviously with a huge gap the best defensive player in the NBA and be a top 10 offensive player, which I think he definitely is already and can be consistently, you might already have the best player in the NBA. I think there's a debate of if you can be the best player in the NBA without having done much, right? Like you have like the Jokic's and the Sheas who have the resume, but Wemby can be the most talented player in the NBA now with not having had the opportunity to build a resume like them. And I think there's an argument he is.
No, I'm saying no, it's a fair point. Go ahead. Continue.
No, that was my point.
Oh no, hey, look. When you got something as unique as Wembanyama, and literally the only thing barring him from collecting, being a Thanos and literally collecting every damn award there is to have, I mean, it's scary. This is scary. I don't know about you. I've never seen a player like Wembanyama. We've seen same, like I said, Kristaps, Bobo. We've seen similar body types, but never came to like.
Never lived up to the potential. Never brought it all together.
Because on some real shit, I think Kristaps is still a good basketball player, but if you're talking about what he has given us and the expectations that are put on him, they're not close.
Right.
I don't think he's met those expectations, and maybe that's my fault and other basketball fans' fault for putting such a high, expectation level on a guy that literally came over here 2016, 2015, around that time, and he was trying to figure a lot out. He was trying to figure out a lot. I just think the transition from Wemby just the only thing that I can say, the only chicken arm, of course, is the durability. That's it. That's the only, like you said, he was cooking. Should have been DPOY last year, and had to sit down. Because I think he had what the heart blood clot or some kind of blood clot situation or something like that, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
something serious. So he had to sit down, and hey, rightfully so. Take care of your health. Cool. But if literally that's the only thing that's really stopping him from being great, then I think the NBA is in good hands. I'm willing to go as far as him right now, just based off of 1 week. And I know I'm not trying to be a prisoner of the moment. What I'm saying is that if you look at what he did the first week of the season, he continues that, we're having a conversation where he might be the best basketball player in the world on the planet right now.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Do you think, would you say that you think that he is at this moment the best player in the NBA above Jokic and Shea?
Right now, yeah. Because here's my thing. As good as Jokic is, we've seen players at his position do the same things he's done.
Even with the passing as a center?
First of all, I've seen Vlade Divac make passes way better than Jokic.
Hot take. Okay.
Now, hear me. Jokic overall, offensively, it's not even in the same hemisphere of him and Vlade.
Okay.
I've seen Sabonis, not DeMonte, his brother, his dad, Arvydas.
Yeah.
Arvydas Sabonis was a hell of a passer as a center. So it's not like we haven't seen centers that can be good facilitators. We've seen that, but they just lack certain skills that Jokic does have. Because I'm not going to look at Arvydas Sabonis or look at Vlade Divac and even remotely try to utter that he's in the same hemisphere of Jokic. But Jokic he's an anomaly at center. He's doing stuff that I was hoping that hell I could get from Anthony Davis, that I can get from damn Joel Embiid. I can't get that. Correct. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. There's things that Jokic is literally doing that I'm like, man, what? Why the hell ain't Embiid doing this? Why ain't Anthony Davis doing this? They got the capabilities.
Right. And if they could put that offensive play together of a Jokic, they're also better defenders than Jokic, which brings me to my argument. If you're making the argument that Wemby is the best player in the world, I think the argument would be this. Wemby at his best has zero weaknesses. Jokic does not, because Jokic's weakness is defense.
Yes.
SGA, I think you could argue that he has no weaknesses either, but he doesn't have the same level of strengths that a Wemby does, because he can't.
Would you question his efficiency as a weakness?
It's so on and off. I think that he can be an incredibly efficient scorer. He just sometimes isn't. But I don't think that's an example of him being a bad scorer at high volume, because we've seen him have insanely efficient games. His field goal percentage last year, his true shooting percentage, while he was the scoring champion, was still pretty high. He just will occasionally have those off nights of efficiency. He's still one of the best mid-range shooters in the game, one of the best drivers in the game.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, so I would say that Shea doesn't have any weaknesses, but I don't think that the peak of his strengths can reach the level of Wemby. And so if you want to make the argument Wemby's the best player in the world, that would be how he's over both of those guys. And then you have someone like Giannis. Giannis can't shoot, Wemby can. That's his case over him.
Yep.
Whoever you'd put in that conversation, Jalen Brunson, he's
short.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. That's the only, he can't block shots from down there. Like, it sucks. I wish he could, but
I know if your shots are getting blocked by Jalen Brunson, man, just it ain't your night.
Yeah.
It ain't my night. Because if he blocking me, yeah. Hey, coach, go ahead. I'm gonna sit this one out.
Right, exactly. His weakness is he's not 7'4", 7'5", and that's it's not his fault. But Wemby is.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the only reason why I said that is because I had to take into account his actual physical makeup compared to SGA's, and I'm like, there's so much advantages that come with Wemby in the game of basketball. So it's like, yeah, and he's doing elite ball handling skills, and he's a shooter, and he's a defender. Like you're hitting just about every element of what you do in basketball, and you're doing it in a 7'4" frame. So that's real alien shit, bro.
And then over Luka, it's the same thing. Luka's not a defender. Wemby is. And then Ant-Man, if you want to put him in that tier conversation, or like a Spidey, a Donovan Mitchell, like it's just Wemby has the highest max of basically everything, and we just haven't seen a player like that.
No, and don't get me wrong, I love Ant Edwards. I think I can make the case and argument that he might be the best two-way player in the league right now. I can make that argument. Love Luka, but like you said, I can't stand the James Harden type of picking and choosing when to be a elite defender. It drives me crazy.
Yeah.
like literally. I just feel like dropping 40. Are you going to stop them? Because we're in a shootout right now. I kind of need a stop. Nah. Just give me the ball and I'll. No, I need. There's more than one element. Basketball is not just shooting.
Right, and I mean I guess we've had the talk over, like, because you say best two-way player, like, over Shea, which is a bit of a hot take, but Wemby could be over both of them in that regard.
Oh yeah, and that's what I'm saying, like, because like obviously there's levels to this shit, and I think right now I would say SGA and Ant are on that level right there by themselves, and you kind of pick or choose. I guess when you start combing things through and what you kind of prefer, then you'll make your choice. tier under them. You know, no disrespect to Giannis, but bro, you've been in the league long enough, bro. You still ain't even got a mid range yet, bro.
Bro, I'm watching him right now play the Knicks, and keeps airballing mid range shots that he's trying. Like, yeah, no, it's bad. It's his only weakness, but it is a serious weakness.
How you ain't got no midi at least? Like I'm not asking. I would never in my life ever ask Giannis to be a lethal 3-point shooter. But damn it, get a midi.
Yeah.
Get a midi. Come on.
Get a free throw shot. They're non-contested shots. You can't even do those. It's just he just doesn't have the touch. That's just what it is. And you can't blame like his crazy size because Wemby is bigger and he can do it.
There's no excuse on why. And I love Shaq. But come on, bro. If it wasn't for your size and the defense, I would literally probably have to pull you in the fourth if it came down to the clutch time.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in a close game. Because all they're going to do is send your ass to the free throw line. And I ain't got time for you to be missing free throws. Because they ain't necessarily got to do it in crunch time. You want to get back in the game, you're down maybe 10 or 12 third quarter. In the third quarter going to the fourth, you start hacking early in the fourth. Get his ass as quickly to the line. And he going to be missing them. It's going to give us opportunities to get back in this game. And next thing you know, you on the losing end of situations because one motherfucker can't make no damn free throws. Right. I can't. That for the life of me would absolutely drive me batshit crazy if I was a basketball coach. Is missing free throws.
Yeah,
it's like, come on. There is no resistance. I know there's crowd. So what? The crowd's been here the whole damn time.
Yeah.
Especially if you've been a visitor, they've been booing you the whole damn time. Ain't nothing changing. I get that that's a pressure moment, but it's a free throw. And you are paid handsomely to make the easiest shots. And that's one of the most easiest shots in all of basketball, besides a layup and a dunk. I'm perplexed how you miss free throws. Because my thing is that's the most easily practice element of basketball that you should easily practice.
Yeah.
And come on, man.
Getting lower than like 75% to me is like
inexcusable. And you being generous, but for me, going below 85 is trash.
Yeah.
I think that's crazy when you're not making your free throws. Like, come on. It's literally the most easiest points you can get in all of basketball.
Right. And people make excuses for like centers, like, centers back in the day or bigs back in the day weren't expected to shoot or whatever. Like, okay, but like you should be able to. It's not like being bigger makes it harder for you to shoot. I don't understand the logic behind this.
Never did either.
Yeah. And like, I guess to round out like the other top guys, the three older guys, LeBron, Steph, and KD. LeBron has the all-around game, but he's older and declining. Well, not declining. He's older. He's not what he was. Wemby's on the rise, and then Steph and KD just are obviously not the defenders. Yeah. So you have an argument for Wemby above anybody if you want to make a case for them. The only thing he has to do is build a resume.
Yeah, and that's fair. Because and I'm not one of those fans where and I get it. I think there needs to be a separation of team success and what that player actually did for that team success.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like in those conversations, like, hey man, I'm old school. You gotta win, bro. Like your actual play has to aid or be the reason for winning.
Yes.
And if it's not, then hey man, what the youngins call them, stat patters.
Right. Exactly. But it's also important to understand the context of, like, we would never say, I don't know, first era of Cavaliers LeBron was a bad player.
No.
Because the team around him was horrible, right? Like, he elevated them to an insane degree.
Yeah.
And you could be like, well, okay, but you lost in the 2007 finals. And then you'd be like, well, I shouldn't have gotten there in the first place. Like, that's how good I am that I even got there.
and that's a fair point. Fair point. And I think also when we have that conversation, the context is like, I just think especially when it comes to GOAT conversation, winners always have good teams around them, and it obviously. I think there's levels to of certain capabilities of what they support and cast. I mean, and not to knock on LeBron. I mean, look at the cast of players he's had by his side.
For
uh,
his championship years.
Hey, yeah, and but then again, I can have that same conversation when it comes to KD and Steph because they paired up and won 2 championships. So I'm fair. I'll have that same energy for anybody that good teams have good players that win. They're not scrubs. It's rare, and I'm not saying it hasn't happened, but it's rare that you literally have maybe like the 1 or 2 dudes on the squad, and the rest they're just there. It's rare.
No, it's true. I mean, like that, and there are a lot of most people in the GOAT conversation. If you want to make an argument to pick apart the supporting cast, you totally can. I was actually thinking recently because I was talking to Bones and Bobby still about our Steph versus Kobe debate because it hasn't stopped.
It ain't gonna never die.
Yeah, and then I thought about it because we were talking about like the whole is like, well, Kobe's more well-rounded than Steph, but Steph is so much better at shooting and who's the better scorer, all of that. And then I kind of started thinking about the other rankings. Who you could make a really good case to pick apart and downplay their resume? Magic. If you want to talk about the supporting cast, think about it. And if you could really think about it, was not an elite high volume scorer, was not a particularly good defender. He was obviously the greatest passer of all time.
Yeah.
But how much easier is it to be a great passer when you're surrounded by elite play finishers like Kareem, Worthy, McAdoo, etc., and the Showtime Lakers, and you're able to get a player like Worthy despite being a winning team in the draft? You could make the argument to pick apart supporting cast. Tim Duncan is another one. Those Spurs teams. If you want to attack anybody on supporting cast, you can make a case for
it. Every last person, and that's what I'm saying. Like when people enter that factor, and when they trying to have that GOAT debate, I'm like, I mean, everybody, you don't get there alone. So it's like, and you damn sure don't win the championship with butt cheeks talent. So,
right.
So it's like I think there needs to be a little bit more give and take. But to round this conversation out, I think you hit it perfectly on the head, Randy. He has to build the resume because the last couple of years it's been almost the Cleveland Browns in the NBA. So, and he's been Myles Garrett.
Yeah. And the resume doesn't necessarily need to be championships either. It can be individual accolades.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if he wins a DPOY or an MVP, he easily is put in that conversation, even if the team doesn't win the title that year.
Yeah. But I would love to see that his performances can result to more team success. Because I just hate seeing great performances go to waste. I hate, especially when a great performance in basketball, it doesn't equal a win at the end of that particular game, and I hate when it doesn't result into at least like, damn, did we at least make it to the conference finals, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I know we got to the finals, but damn, man, we got waxed, bro.
Yeah, this is what makes those championship runs where one player is clearly carrying an inferior team so special, like a Dirk Nowitzki ring. Or like a Dwayne Wade ring. There's definitely others.
Come on, recently, Giannis just did it in 2019,
bro. Yeah. I mean, I don't think he had a bad team. He had a pretty good team, but it wasn't a super team.
But it was clear cut the reason why they were there and why they won it.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, you could say that Jokic and the Nuggets too. I think you could make that argument. Yeah, exactly. Like it's really special. I mean, Kobe in his last 2 rings
That's fair.
is as like the clear example. Uh,
Yeah,
uh,
especially that one against the Magic, man.
right, exactly. These are all that's what makes those so special and so hard to negate because there's no you can't make an argument washing those away. They're the special ones.
Nah, for sure, for sure. But Wimby's been playing special. Hey, man, big fella. Hey, if stay on the court, dog. Just do all you can. Make sure you get all your massages, but don't do no Deshaun play. Make sure that you get all the whatever treatment after every game. You need the ice down, get into the hot tub, cold tub, whatever. Make sure that the training staff is on their job for this season because we need more Wimby Yama. That man is box office. So, but basketball news or sports news in general, obviously some of the bigger headlines: Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, Terry Rozier, part of the gambling ring that got taken down. But here's, and we've had this conversation before on all types of platforms, especially on I.O.W. So I'm not 100% sure if we've had this conversation, but when it comes to gambling in sports, Randy, I find it very hypocritical. And so many states have legalized it, and I'm not sure of all the details, so I'm not really going to speak on that. I'm just going to speak in the broader scheme of gambling in sports in general. All right. All these companies, NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, all are in bed with these gambling sites. Every last one of them.
Mhm.
You can see it on the marketing commercials. They got former players that played that sport. It might be painted on a banner in the stadium somewhere. Matter of fact, they've been doing this for years. You go to any game, whether it's MLB or NFL, and I can attest to that here in Kansas City, they got the raffles. That's gambling in the stadium. And they're announcing winners and winning ticket numbers at some point in the third quarter because they ain't taking no more raffles. So it's a form of gambling. It's gambling in sports go together. It's always been like that. It's been like that before you and I. It's been like that before our pappies. It's been like that before our grandpappies. It's been like that before our great grandpappies. Real talk. Sports and gambling has been together forever. A relationship. All right. And I just find it odd that they can't get it down to either, for me, black and white. So I was thinking about this, and because I knew we were going to talk about it. I may not have the foolproof solution, but I got an idea. All right. Soon as a player signs a contract with either said organization that is under the umbrella of the NFL, NHL, NBA, they cannot bet at all. The moment that they are released of that contract, a free agent, bet the fuck away. The moment you sign a contract, no more betting. If they are under contract, don't let them bet. Because y'all can't figure the rules and regulations out. So make it so simple and black and white. If you got a contract, you're getting a paycheck, no fucking betting. All right? Because I think you can help eliminate the quote unquote rigging of sports because you can't bet on it. You have no actual advancement to do it no more. You have no reason to do it no more. If you really love it that much, you're really addicted, then you're willing to sacrifice millions, like a Terry Rozier. Now I think let's cut that one out, isn't it? Guilty, that nigga's guilty. Like on some boondock shit. Like for real, that nigga is guilty. So so like I just think make it simple, and shame on the NCAA for oh yeah, let them bet. And I'm like, No, like they were already having issues in the NCAA level dealing with betting. NFL has theirs, NBA does, baseball I'm sure has had some. Obviously, we know about Pete Rose and issues. If it's such a problem, but yet you're still profiting in bed with these situations, that's where I find that the hypocrisy is at in that situation. It's like, so make it simple. If you're under contract, don't bet. No, there is no rule. You bet, you gotta go.
Yeah.
So like make it simple
I
because
think
I don't know, man.
yeah, I think I agree with that. I think that so we don't know all of the details yet. Obviously, the FBI is still investigating it. Um, I Stephen A. Smith put out saying that he thinks that it's a political hit job, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I agree with Kash Patel when he says that that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. That yes, the a political hit job on Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups, sure. So I agree that I think that gambling should be entirely legal. I don't think the government should really be in it at all. I don't think that they should be pursuing charges on people for gambling. But leagues have to preserve their integrity.
Yes.
So on a private league level, on a sports law level, on a contract law level, you can't have gambling for people who are in the league. There's already, conspiracy theories that go around on it being rigged, with the Mavs getting the first overall pick, the refs in the Giants-Eagles game. There's always concerns about conspiracies and foul play with the authorities. And it especially with Chauncey Billups being a coach while this was happening.
Yes.
You just can't have that. You can't have any of it. You can't have any reason to believe that there's a possible conflict of interest. So yeah, I would agree. Once you work in the league, it has to be a very, very strict ban. Afterwards, you should be able to do whatever you want. I would say that I agree with that.
And to be honest, like
although I guess the counter concern might be they still have all of those connections. So even if they're not the ones that are doing it, like the ones that are controlling things, they're connected to. Like if Chauncey Billups leaves, his coaching staff, he's still going to be connected to them. Now, I don't know if necessarily there's anything you could do about that, because you can't ban every civilian from betting because they know someone that's in the NBA. So I would still agree with you, but I guess that might be like the counter concern.
Hey, and I understand it because, like, look, at the end of the day, cats gonna find a way to do it,
right? And there's at some point there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, and that is what it is. But I just think at some point in time, man, they've been fighting this whole morale about gambling. But I'm like, but you're clearly these partnerships are profits. Like I'm that's why I just always had a hard time. So I'm like, either do one or the other. Either don't take the because obviously, NFL, I think they'll be just fine without a DraftKings or FanDuel partnership. You know what I'm saying? So like,
it's in those cases, the issue is just that those don't have the same conflict of interest. So I agree that there's hypocrisy regarding gambling in a vacuum. Yeah. But there's a difference between like you and I gambling and the head coach of a team in the league gambling.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. So it's like either come up with either, for me, a real black and white solution, or just be more, I guess, strict on your punishment that comes with it to deter, and try to find as much deterrent as you can, because I hate the rigged word. I hate it. It bothers me because it's like, especially, if you've ever played any of these sports, and obviously I've never been fortunate enough to either make it to the Major League Baseball league or make it to the NFL, but I know what at least I have a foundation on what it takes to get to that point. Like to diminish that with the R word is crazy to me. So that's why it's like when you have these situations when it comes to the gambling, I'm like, man, figure this shit out because we get back to. I mean, it's kind of far removed from being pure, but at least it wouldn't give these conspiracy theorists an opportunity to say that your shit's rigged. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's true. Yeah, exactly. And you don't want it to be, in addition to the perception of it being rigged, you don't want it to be
That's what I
rigged.
was for.
Yeah, like that's also like it's also the concern of this actually might be rigged
Yeah,
if you have a coach that's betting, if they say bet against their team,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden, oh wow, I'm not. I decided we're not putting in our starters today. I'm trying a new strategy. You know?
And they can spin it so easy. So yeah, man. But they got a problem. I saw the NCAA. They were going to allow players and coaches to gamble on professional sports, and then I think they have since then kind of put that amendment on hold and are kind of, I guess, gathering more information or whatever. But
Right, and also the whatever involvement there is with the mafia, since that's a big part of this. Is it's also the one of the biggest reasons why the FBI is involved is the connection to this gambling ring and the mafia. We don't know what that is at this point, but you know that's also as more is disclosed.
but
We'll
has the
evolve
mafia not been in the driver's seat of gambling since the beginning?
more. Of course, yeah.
What are
Of
we?
course. I'm sure the leagues have had connections to the mafia for a long time before this. Yeah.
I mean, Randy. I mean, I know we was born at some point in the day, but it wasn't today. So I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, you know, gambling, sports, mafia, gambling ring. That's kind of always been. I'm just. I thought
Yeah.
my own thing.
Right. It's more about it getting exposed, right? Because like yes, it was definitely happening behind the scenes for a long time, undoubtedly.
I mean, never mind. But yeah, look, I just think either you can't. It's just for me, it's weird. It's to be in the partnership with the sites and the gambling and the casinos, and in one hand, you know, got your hand out with some money, but in the other hand, it's the punishment for the players and the coaches. I just find that a weird dynamic. That's all, and I'm just kind of like, at some point, like. You know, you can't have your cake and eat it too, and that's what you're really doing right now. Because NFL, they're making billions, and they got their hand out, but they ain't never been scared to punish. So, NBA, I'm not sure how they're going to deal with this because they, you know, I don't know about you. I'm kind of thinking like they've had referees kind of involved in gambling, players, coaches. So I'm at this point like, well, damn, man, how deep y'all going down in the NBA?
Yeah, I mean, where there's money and when there's control over a money source, there's gambling. Like that's going to seep into every league to some extent. It's just a matter of doing what you can to weed it out, but it's going to be everywhere. Like, of course, it's going to be everywhere.
We'll see what happens in the fallout. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that Chauncey Billups will no longer be the coach of the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah,
I think that's safe to say.
yeah.
He won't be.
Maybe Dame can step up and coach.
Yeah, 1919, Black Sox, Pete Rose is head up, but now it's more prevalent and accepted by leagues included. Of course, more players will be involved in the mafia still running this. Yeah, I mean, hey, as soon as that sun wakes up, there will be somebody in control of something that has to do, like Randy said, with the money flow. Something got to go somewhere. Somebody always got to control something. So, let's you know, speaking of gambling, you know, there's always money to get made on Sundays. Recap of NFL Week 8. We'll go through the games, at least some of the key games, and a few blowouts. But obviously, I'm gonna, turn over the floor to my man Randy Weber because, you know, sometimes in content creating, when somebody got some shit on their chest, you just let them get it off of it. So without further ado, I present to y'all Randy Weber moment. It's yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Randy's whining segment. It may not be pleasant, but you're going to sit through it.
Oh, that's crazy.
Okay, so speaking of rules and rule enforcement, and how you disincentivize the thing you're trying to disincentivize. Mar, do I usually, if the Giants lose, come on here and accuse the refs of being the reason why? Typically, would you say that I'm the one who's always ready to start by blaming the refs?
Randy, you've never been that guy to do that. You've always kind of, you are a fair football analyzer, I should say.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I have blamed the refs from time to time when deserved, but very often I'll blame Joe Shane. I'll blame Shane Bowen. I'll blame our international kickers that we get from Scotland. I'll blame Deontay Banks. I'll blame Evan Neal. I used to blame Daniel Jones. I'll blame our offensive line. This game was one of the worst officiated games I have ever seen. And it wasn't just against the Giants, but it was overwhelmingly against the Giants. Tell me why the NFL, and this is one of like 5 crazy mess ups that the refs made, but we're going to start here because it injured my Tasmanian devil, Cam Scatterboo. He was taken.
Ye without Scatterboo.
The NFL specifically banned the hip drop tackle because they were trying to avoid exactly what happened in this game. Please explain if you're going to introduce that rule and you're going to say fining is a punishment for it, not only do you not fine Zach Bond for doing it,
suspend him.
You don't even call it as a penalty.
Hey, you know what, Randy? Not to cut you off. When they made that rule, I hated it. I'm like, why are y'all implementing this? Because that tackle has been part of football and it's never meant to hurt nobody. It's not. But it happens. Because sometimes, defender gets behind and they just throw their weight down and drag a play down. It happens. So I've seen that tackle in football since I've been watching football.
Sure. And I felt the same way. And
it's never had a name. It wasn't until injury started. Nick Chubb, Mark Andrews are some of the first 2 that come to my mind that kind of went down from that tackle. And it's like, all right, let's do something about it. Because, then they take it to winter owners meetings and they had those conversations amongst the 31 owners. And, some of those owners, like a Browns owner, like a Ravens owner, is like, hey, man, get rid of this hip drop. Oh, it's a name to it now? So, 2 or 3 years ago, they implemented and they said they were going to be so steadfast on it or rule it to the highest ruling of the letter of that rule. And I ain't seen a damn flag or nothing for that damn tackle since, bro.
Right, exactly. I wasn't even a huge fan of the rule when it first got announced either. But if you're going to have it, you have to consistently call it.
Enforce it.
Otherwise, what's the point? And if they at any point through the season call it, then that creates a huge issue now because they've spent the first half of the season not calling it. And anytime they call it now there's an inconsistency problem. So this was the time. Not only did he do the illegal hip drop tackle, but it did the thing that the rule was meant to prevent.
Yeah.
And not even a penalty, not even a flag. However, you know what you're apparently allowed to do? You're not allowed to do. You are allowed to do hip drop tackles that injure players. you're allowed to face mask the quarterback without a flag. You know what you're not allowed to do? You're not allowed to push a cornerback who is actively pushing and holding you, because that's offensive pass interference, apparently, and that's what took off that Darian Slayton touchdown. So that's 3 crazy mistakes right there. We're not even getting to the one that everyone was really talking about. That fumble. That fumble.
Randy.
Was egregious. The lack of a fumble, I should say.
Randy. Okay. Real quick. I've been a component where I've been okay with the tush push. I'm like, hey, if they find a play that y'all can't stop, that's on y'all. All right. And if you can't run it the same way, that's on y'all. All right. I was always a big, all right, Eagles, cool, you found a play. But the NFL is, their officials have literally fumbled, no pun intended, fumbled the officiating part of that play. And it's just one play. Since they failed at consistently officiating, if it's false start, call it. If the defense is offsides, call it. If the momentum is stopped, blow the damn whistle. All right? But until then, let the play out. That was some whole shit. That was some whole shit right there. All right.
The most egregious part of that, yes, there's that problem. There's also another problem. First of all, the fact that there are penalties that you are not allowed to review is insane. That is an absolutely insane way to have rules in anything. It would be insane if refs were good at their jobs. But since we know that they're not, for forward progress to not be reviewable is absolutely insane. And what's even more insane about that is the actual rule apparently doesn't require you to blow the whistle to stop forward progress. So what happened was Jalen Hurts his tush was getting pushed, and as he is one to request. As he has been known to be a fan of.
Hey, yo.
I got to get this point out. I got to get it out. So
yeah. That was wow. Oh, wow.
So as that was happening, he obviously fumbles the ball. Nobody blows a whistle. Nobody blows a whistle until after the ball comes out of his hands and into Kayvon Thibodeau's hands. Kayvon Thibodeau grabs it, spins. Jalen Hurts has not gone to the ground. The knee has not hit the ground at all at this point.
He's a player.
Yeah, exactly. He's upright and on the pile. And then Kayvon grabs the ball, spins it out of his hands, hits the ground. And then grabs it and puts it, to his chest to demonstrate possession to the refs. The refs don't blow the whistle until after he does that.
That was crazy, bro.
And then, based off of the rule, the ref establishes this was forward progress because I decided it was forward progress. I didn't blow the whistle. I didn't tell anybody that the forward progress had stopped.
Exactly.
But in my head, in my heart, in my spirit, I made that decision. And according to the actual NFL rules, that's how you determine forward progress. And it's not reviewable. That's like the game. Like, the game when you play with someone, which is like guess a number that's in my head, and then you have to guess. And then it's determined by what you say after that. I could say whatever I want at that point.
Yeah.
I could say anything. That's literally the NFL rules. And it's not reviewable. And Brian Daboll was rightfully pissed the fuck off.
As he should be.
So
that was crazy, bro.
Yeah. So that I've said so many times that the rules have to change and that the refs have to be strictly penalized. If there was any time to fire refs, it's after this game.
It was
And I'm not just saying that as a Giants fan. They also fucked up the Eagles missed kick with the whistle too. So it affected them marginally, but it did affect them.
Hey man,
and I'm not even saying that the Giants would have won this game had it been officiated correctly.
yeah,
But
but something. I think the score would look a little more tightened up, more close.
There would have been at 7 points off the board for the Eagles and 7 points on the board for the Giants. That would have made the game a 1 possession difference. We don't know what could have happened with all of those, the butterfly effect factors being different in that world.
No, for sure. I mean, you've already beat that team once, so you can't say that you can't beat them.
Right. Exactly.
So, yeah. No, but I don't know if anybody. So when the XFL rebooted and came back after COVID, I can't remember if it was before or after COVID, but regardless, my point is they had a system where literally every play was getting watched by a command center, and they had damn near every angle. And the guy's over here, he's directing like, "Hey, give me this angle, give me that angle." Like literally after every play, "Hey, give me that angle." All right, hey, mark the ball right here. He's down at the 10. All right, why can't the NFL do that? Like literally, it literally makes like you do. At that point, you would actually just get rid of challenges because the command center is going to be there, making sure that, hey, ref, that's a mistake. This is what happened. Pause the game real quick because I think what your decision was is not correct.
Yeah, and that should be the case for every play. The fact that it is determined by how many challenges you happen to have at that time, and you're only given 2 per half, and you lose a timeout if you lose. And there are certain plays that are
you only get 2 a game. You get 2 challenges
right.
Game.
Yes.
And if you get one wrong, well, they're trying to incentivize. If you get both of them right, you get an extra one.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, like, they disincentivize you from challenging, but there's no penalty, there's no punishment for the refs being bad at their jobs. And there are certain calls that you're not even allowed to have reviewed, and they absolutely have the ability to have that command center, and they don't use it. Just have that check every single call from the refs, and they overturn it if there was a mess up.
Well, that's what they're trying to do now with the virtual, marking, and then they got the command center that says, "Oh, take a look at that, blase, blase," and obviously all turnovers and touchdowns are automatically reviewed. So I mean, they're trying to get closer to that, but I'm like, no, just do what the XFL did. They literally they were down to a science where they would say, "Hey, I know you got them down at the 11, move it up to the 10. We just reviewed it, get them to the 10." And it was expedited soon because they got time in between. Obviously the teams are trying to get the next play in and whatnot, but I mean, they were pretty, on it. And if they, needed a timeout because they felt the game was going to try to get sped up and they didn't get enough time, they would say, "Hey, hold on, official timeout." So come on, you can't make that type of money that you're doing as an entity and you can't get this officiating shit right. Come on, bro.
No, for real, like the argument for some people for why they have this like dumb challenging rule style that they're currently doing is, well, we don't want to stop the game entirely to have periods of reviewing going on. Well, one, all of the dumb flags that we're getting are stopping the game much more than that would. And two, it would disincentivize the refs from being so flag happy because they don't want to sit around just to eventually get overturned. They're going to be careful. Like, they'll be more careful than they are now that there's no checks.
And if I remember correctly, the XFL did that. They went to that point where they say they would let them challenge is that pass interference, or if it was something like that, they will return it,
Mhm.
or it upheld regardless. And come on, it's a shame that they're not hired full time. I don't know how you still don't have a actual uh, sector of the NFL that has referees to be full time employees. Give them a union, just like
Yep.
they did it for players' union. Who cares?
Mhm.
And then give them the benefits, give them pay. That would incentivize them to actually give a damn about their job.
Yeah.
Because once the season's over, man, them Joe is they probably door dashing, bro. So
Yeah.
so
It's true. Yeah.
come on now, like it's so easy. We've all had jobs where you are more inclined to give your best at your position because they are incentivizing you for growth, or there's something at the end of that pot of that rainbow. You feel me?
Yeah.
So come on now, NFL, tighten up on that shit. But
You
no,
remember
that
like the Lions Cowboys game from last season
yeah,
with the ineligible tackle?
yeah,
How,
yeah.
how were there no firings after that? Like that's insane.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's things like that plays into what the topic we were talking about before when they talk about the rigging, and that's when you get those uh, crazy conspiracy theorists, and they'll spend their whole weekend trying to find all the markings on why you're rigging your shit. So
Mhm.
that's why you need to eliminate that problem. Because then, if there is any inkling of rigging, then you can just point to, oh, well, it's the gambling factor because we or
Yeah.
whatever because we button up over here. So look, and it does play a part into the gambling. I mean, shit, every Sunday I got my parlays in, bro. I got my anytime touchdowns in, bro. Shit, so
Mhm.
I get it. I understand it. But
Yeah, I just had a parlay miss on a couple of shots off that Knicks game. It happens.
it happens. It happens. It happens. But man, quick healing to Scatterboot, man. That was a nasty injury.
Yeah, best prayers and best wishes to Scatterboo.
For sure.
It sucks for what was a fantastic rookie season to be cut short like this. I only positive way I can spin it is Scatterboo looks great. Jackson Dart looks really good. A lot. I mean, the only loss from him that was really his fault was the Saints game.
Yeah.
So that he's gonna get Scatterboo and Malik Neighbors back next year.
Yeah.
We'll see what he looks like at that point. Now that he's not going to be working with a bunch of second strings, which he's looked good with so far. So, optimistic spin.
Hey man, it may sound crazy. I put Jameis in there, bro.
Really?
Hear me out. Hey, this season's a wash. Go get one of them top 3 picks, bro. I'm saying, hey, get one of them top 3 picks, man. Hey, just say he got a quad injury.
I mean, not that I think the Giants are going to make the playoffs, because I don't. But we're only 1 win behind both the Cowboys and the Commanders. If Jackson Dart balls out, I don't think it's entirely impossible the Giants make the wild card. Defensive line still playing great. It's a long shot. I would put Jameson maybe, I don't know, after a few weeks if we're on a losing streak, but I don't know if I would do it right now.
Hey man, get one of the best offensive linemen in the top 3 picks.
I like it. I like it. I just also you're taking reps away from Jackson Dart, which I don't know if is a good idea.
I hear you, but it's I already know what I like what I see. I'm cool with it.
I like
I need you
Francis
upright.
Magula in the right tackle who's going to be in the draft. That's a nice shot for the Giants that I would really like if we do end up getting him.
Hey,
Move Illuminor inside.
when you have your quarterback on your rookie deal, you must build. You got to.
Yep.
Because when it comes to his time for him to back the Brinks truck up, it's gonna be some tough decisions. You got to build while you're on that rookie deal. And it obviously has worked on the defensive line part. All right. But it needs to be at the other places. It has to be at the offensive line. They got to start putting some money in that old line. Hey, point blank period.
And also, I guess to that point, because I do want to mention, because there is something that Jackson Dart needs to be criticized for. The offensive line has been playing better this year with Andrew Thomas in. Andrew Thomas, to this point, I think is still only given 0 sacks and 1 pressure.
He makes a huge difference because we saw that in that Chiefs game when we were watch along.
Yeah, exactly. It literally night and day when he's on and off the field. So it can't be like that. You need someone else who can solidify it when Andrew Thomas gets hurt. But
there's 4 other spots over there.
Yeah, right, exactly. Illuminor has also been good, which is why I like the idea of getting a right tackle and moving him to guard if we can get him on an extension or re-up his contract. My issue with Dart is, despite the fact that the protection has been better than it's been in past years, he runs out of some very clean pockets, almost runs directly into defenders sometimes. Like, he's got to learn his way out of that. I mean, thankfully he was on a run and he slid instead of running headfirst into the guy for the first time. So we're getting some progress in that regard. But
hey, man, it takes a lot of people to finally figure out how to step up in pockets. It takes them a minute.
Yeah,
but when
take some time, I'm sure he'll. He's learning very fast. I'm sure he'll learn that.
When they do, oh man, they some cold motherfuckers, man. But no, we'll see what happens, man. I was just throwing a theory out there because I'm like, hey, it's a point in time, man. Build around your young stallions, man.
But let's talk about some other games.
Let's. Falcons, I'm done with y'all. I don't know what the hell y'all are, bro. You have no business losing to the Miami Dolphins,
and by a lot too. Yeah, that was
at home.
I think I might be off that train. Honestly,
damn.
The Panthers and the Dolphins, but like it's so weird because they beat the Bills. Like it's wildly inconsistent. I don't know what they are. I feel that way about a lot of teams this year, where I don't know what they are. Do you feel the same? Because I feel like a lot of people are saying that.
It's been a weird season so far. It's some of these teams that I thought were going to be pretty solid. Like I thought Atlanta beat solid. They're one of the teams disappointing. I thought the Cardinals would be solid. They're again still getting the same old Cardinal bullshit. I'm off them. I guess this what's that that old Stranger Things upside down world, or like real crazy shit going on. Like I don't even know what to make of the AFC North now. I don't trust nobody in that joint right now. I don't trust the Steelers right now.
Yeah.
Like I don't trust the Bengals. What losing?
They just lost to Joe Flacco's Bengals, and the Bengals then were the first team to lose to the Jets. So I don't. Yeah, no, exactly. I don't know what anybody is. So I'm in the position where I'm going to say 5 teams on the top and 5 teams on the bottom, and everyone else is in this kind of weird area. And I would say Chiefs. I'm still keeping Bills in that the top. I trust them area because of track record. Even despite that weird period in the middle, I'd say Chiefs, Bills, Lions, Buccaneers once they get their guys back, especially Rams. I'll keep Packers in there.
Packers, and
They're the NFC 1 seed right now. So I'll say those teams. I would say that if I had to bet on teams to be an actually good team, those teams are there. And then for the bottom, Jets, Saints, Titans, Dolphins. And I feel like there's someone I'm forgetting. I'm not even could have put the Browns there because they have such an elite defense.
Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders, but that was the last one. So, I would say about 5-5, 5-6. Yeah, 5-6, and everyone else is in this just weird period where it's like they're winning, but I don't trust it, or they're losing, but I don't trust it, or they're losing specifically because someone's injured, but that person's coming back, or
Yeah, so here are the standings right now, just full league. Colts 7-1, Packers 5-1-1, Patriots 6-2, Eagles 6-2, Broncos, Buccaneers both 6-2, Seahawks 5-2, same with Buffalo, same with Detroit, same with Rams, all 5-2. You got Chargers, Chiefs, Niners, all 5-3, and then I think that's where you start where that pocket you're talking about. Pittsburgh 4-3, Chicago 4-3, Jacksonville
right.
4
And even a lot of the teams that you just named, there's something you can look at and be like, I don't know if I trust that this is real. I still think that about the Colts. If you look at every team that they've beaten almost nothing but bottom teams. The only two teams that they've beaten that were good were the Broncos, who bailed them out with that leverage penalty, and the Chargers, who didn't have their tackles for that game. So, and the Chargers have looked so different once Joe Alt is in versus out, and Joe Alt was out for that game. So, I don't even know what the Colts are. So, I think there's a concern there.
Yeah, I know what they are. Give it to Jonathan Taylor and get the hell out the way. That man, he is running through holes the size of the damn craters in the moon. That dude is getting the runway, like the full runway. Like, I'm like, the hell is going on? And granted, it was the Titans, but God damn.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah, no, Jonathan Taylor's been phenomenal. We talked about skill position players who might enter that MVP conversation. He's got to be right there.
No, he's in there. For me, obviously, we know it's a quarterback award, but for actual conversation, he's in there.
Yeah, I would say Taylor, JSN, and Bijan should get looks.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. JSN, okay. Obviously, there's the wide debate, wide receiver, LSU, Ohio State. I'm taking for either one of those schools. I don't even care. But for even last night, Terry McLaurin's first game back, he made some stupid medicinal catches, the touchdown and on the sideline joint. And I'm like, these Ohio State dudes and these LSU dudes is something different when it comes to wide receiver, bro. I don't know.
Yup. Great schools. Whoever's coaching those wide receivers needs to get poached by an NFL team for real.
Brian Hartline. I don't know. He ain't got dog. Not only does the recruitment be crazy, but like they go like on the offense, like right now they like probably got like 4 or 5 dudes that's gonna be dogs.
Yes.
And behind them is future dogs because they're getting recruited high. Like they're never out of the top 5 when it comes to recruiting, bro. They're crazy with it, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I will say also, because some of my takes have been correct, some of them have not been correct, but I do have to make one. I'm gonna make a formal apology for somebody
with you, dog.
I'm gonna make a formal apology for something that I have been consistently saying that I think I can say comfortably that I've been wrong about. Sam Darnold, I think, is actually a good quarterback now. He's now been in 2 different teams with 2 different systems.
Yeah.
And he's been good in both of them. Very good in both of them. I mean, the Seahawks, didn't have the offensive line that they do now. But their offensive line has been solid, not elite, but solid. Gray's Abel has been a great addition. We've talked about that. JSN's been great, but they don't really have a run game. And
It's been hit or miss. It's been hit.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the whole receiver core outside of JSN isn't all that special. And Sam Darnold individually has been balling. And so what that, it's not Kevin O'Connell. Kevin O'Connell hasn't been able to make JJ McCarthy or Carson Wentz work.
Woo.
So it had to have been Sam Darnold.
Boy, that defense in Minnesota, boy, they're going to have a long season on their hands.
Uh-huh.
And I love Brian Flores, but I don't think him and his squad is they're going to have to play like the 85 Bears to even give this team a chance to even have a chance to win that game. Because their quarterback position, look, Jettis is only as good as he can be.
Yeah, and when we start talking about the Hall of Fame conversation, I do have a hot take that we'll get into regarding him. But yeah, I mean, the fact that he's had this level of quarterback play and is still top 5 in receiving, and he had a bye week, and he's still top 5 in receiving, is nuts.
Yeah, that's tough, man. And he just wants just one competent person to just put the ball in the vicinity of him, and he got it from there. All right, that's all he needs. All right.
Mm-hmm.
But look, Broncos defense, they're for real. We'll see how they look without Pat Surtain for a minute.
Right.
Cowboys. Trade deadline is next week. If y'all don't make no moves to get some damn defense, I don't think y'all serious, man.
I mean, if any owner isn't serious, we know which one isn't.
That's a true statement. Bills took care of business over Panthers as they were supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
I will
a really dominant win over an inferior opponent, because there was all those why are these games close in the first part of the season?
Yeah. Texas finally found some offense. Patriots offense, actually, I thought I'd never see a day that they were consistently getting 28 plus. They got 32 against a good Cleveland defense. Look, I need to speak on this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
My man Myles Garrett. Hey, bro. This is now consecutive weeks in a row, and I'm seeing snippets of you in the damn press conference after another loss. You frustrated. Oh, I don't like all this. Blah, blah, blah. Bro, you knew it was good the moment that ink dried on that big ass contract you had. You knew it. Matter of fact, you've been part of it. You've been in this really shitstorm of an organization your whole career, bro. Where it's like a drama over there. There's good moments, there's bad moments, and there's what the fuck moments over there. All right, and you've seen it all. Matter of fact, you've been part of it. Don't forget, you was trying to be speed race, almost killed your damn self.
He said in the offseason he wanted to leave for a contender, then they waved money in front of his face, and then he stayed. And I don't blame him for doing that, but like you said you knew what you were getting into.
Randy,
you said you knew what you were getting into.
He easily could have got the same amount of money anywhere else. Who's not opening up the fucking bank for Myles fucking Garrett?
Sure. I mean, it is a matter of how much cap you have. The Browns are in a particularly bad situation, actually. So it's kind of funny that they were the one that was putting that money up. There are teams that are in much better cap situations that don't have a Deshaun Watson.
I ain't trying to hear none of that conversation there. Oh, man, I want to win. You damn sure ain't doing it in Cleveland.
And it's especially frustrating, I think, in the Cleveland case, and we'll talk about the obvious when it comes to Cleveland, but they have an elite defense. Their defense is like top 3 in everything right now, I think.
I understand that.
They also have Quinshon Judkins, who's been really good, so they have a run game.
Oh.
It's just the pass game that has made the team bad. Dylan Gabriel has been ass. Joe Flacco was ass. He's been better with the Bengals. And, you know, you could say, like, well, he upgraded from Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, which is totally true. But he's not behind a good offensive line.
I'm just going to say it, Randy. All right. I'm just going to say it. Myles Garrett in the preseason told Shedeur Sanders, bro, we are going to need you. To his face, on the sideline. He knew what was up. And what my main point of saying that is to say this: Myles Garrett is I understand his frustration. I think it's a cop out for you to say, you know, I'm tired of this and that, and you took the money part. So I'm like, come on, bro, chill out. But I'm also looking at it this way, Randy, follow me. For him to say we are going to need you, he is pretty much crying out through the media to his staff to push Shedeur Sanders in now. He's whining. Yes, he's bitching and moaning. A rich, spoiled defensive tackle DN that just had 5 sacks and still can't win a damn football game. Yes, he's bitching and moaning, but he's also sending a message to his damn own team that says, hey, I want to win. Put Shedeur in. This dude, Dylan Gabriel, is ass. Y'all tried to sell a dream to this whole fan base, but it's on film now for the last few weeks. Your own coaching staff don't trust him. This man ain't throwing past 10 yards, bro.
He'll throw an intentional grounding in the end zone to give his team a safety. So when he throws, that's what he does with it.
Little Shorty ain't it. It's on film now. This is it's an alternative motive to Myles Garrett's whining. He's saying put Shedeur in now.
And the reality is, I'm not at all convinced that the Browns team, the Kevin Stefanski, the coaching staff, aren't aware, at the very least,
come on,
that
man.
Dylan Gabriel's been bad enough that even if you don't trust Shedeur, it's worth a try.
Hey,
you're going to put him in at some point anyway. You're not going to just let him sit on the bench the entire season. He's going to be in. Dylan Gabriel's been bad. Joe Flacco was bad. It's time to at least try it. But we know that the real reason why they won't put him in is because they don't want to be. We know that there was conflict between the owner and them as to taking him at all. And we know that wasn't part of the plan because otherwise they wouldn't have taken Gabriel too. I don't think they want to be proven wrong. I don't think they want to either lose their jobs because Shedeur is bad or lose their jobs because Shedeur is good.
Or how about you keep your job and actually give your team a chance to win?
Or, I mean, I agree. But I think that's what they're scared of.
Even if you don't win, hell, at least we'll be entertained.
You can sell some tickets.
Sell some damn tickets.
Get some better ratings over there.
It makes some damn moolah. Ain't that's still part of this NFL game, ain't it?
Because and I think that's what they're scared of. Think of how bad it would look for them, who have been banging the table saying, no, Dylan Gabriel is our guy. If Dylan Gabriel looks like ass, they put Shedeur in the exact same system, and then he outperforms them. Well, but like if Shedeur ends up looking better, because they're in a lose-lose situation. If Shedeur looks better, then ownership was right.
Randy,
if Shedor's still bad, if Shedeur is bad, that doesn't work for them either. Because now, you had 2 quarterbacks to try to develop, and you couldn't develop either of them. It's a lose-lose situation on their end, and I think that's why they're holding off so long. I agree that it's bad, but I think that's what they're thinking.
You're highly paid millionaire that just got you 5 sacks and you can't seal a damn win is telling you through his bitching and moaning, if I want to win. I want to win.
And I mean, it's the same advice you could give to the Giants. Their season's not going anywhere too. So
yeah, but
what they might as well try for draft position too.
y'all not carrying an elite defense like that.
Have you seen our defensive
Oh,
line?
no, I love your D line. I'm talking about an overall elite defense. Y'all not putting numbers up like them.
No, I know. It's they don't have a Shane Bowen. It's they don't have a Deontay Banks.
Hey, bruh, hey, you wild for that. But no, it's I just in that moment, I was like, I reverted back to when he said he's like, "No, we're gonna need you," and I'm like, all right, that meant something. And now this is, as the last few weeks, he's been throwing them hissy fits. I understand why, but at the same time, I'm like, bro, like, you knew what was up.
Also, just to click back at the Texans thing real quick.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty noticeable and pretty obvious that the Texans offense looks night and day if they're playing against a defense that's not able to put pressure on a quarterback, because that's really their only weakness. And if you look at the teams that they've looked good against, good against the Titans, they looked good against the 49ers without Nick Bosa now. They looked good against the Ravens, who's horrible.
Yeah.
So if the Texans are playing against defenses that can't exploit that offensive line, CJ Stroud is still a really good quarterback. They've put him in a position where whether he's good or bad depends entirely on if there's a ton of guys in his face in 0.02 seconds. And it's, but it does show that something's still very much there and that the blame is not on CJ and that they can make it work if they get him an offensive line.
I don't know what they were thinking. Hey, Larry Tunsil, you're the best in here. We're just gonna move off you, bro.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. I got 2 years left on the contract. What you mean?
Right. The offensive line was bad, so let's get rid of our only good offensive lineman, replace him with a rookie, and do nothing else.
Hey, man, that puts pressure on that rookie. He's gonna have to be all pro at least by year 3.
Yeah. Like, and I think he's, to my now, I mean, I haven't seen his like PFF grades or anything. Like, I think he's been like, but nowhere near what Tunsil was. I think he's been like okay individually, but it's a clear downgrade from what they had.
As a whole, it's not good though. It hasn't been good all season.
Right.
So, I don't know. But anyway, weird week 8. Solid. I thought I'd never see a day that a guy has 5 sacks and this team doesn't win. That's crazy. Steelers, I'm like, again, I'm not sold on that. It was good to see J Love do what he did, man. That was good to see.
He looked really good.
He did. He was on fire, man. I think it was 20 straight completions that he went like that. Yeah, that man was on fire. I was like, oh, he ain't around tonight.
Right. If that's the Jordan Love they have, like, like that's a real team.
Hey, Bears are still fraudulent. I've been waiting for that other shoe to drop. However, this is my wild take. I don't think the Ravens are dead yet because defensively they have been playing better the last couple of weeks.
Roquan Smith coming back has been a huge part of that.
They're going to start getting some of those injured players back, like you said, or Roquan, and then you also think about it. Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP. He'll be playing on Thursday. So, yeah, they're starting to get healthy. So, and as you see, Steelers lost now 2 in a row. Bengals coming off a raid. That's the heartening loss.
Also, I have a weird theory that I was thinking about, and I'm thinking about the AFC North teams, and 3 out of 4 of the AFC North teams have had very high profile issues with them employing and attempting to protect bad people, right? The Steelers have Big Ben, the Browns have Deshaun Watson, and the Ravens have now having hired Mike Green. Isn't it interesting? It's a weird conspiracy theory, and I just wanted to do this very quickly. The Steelers, after having done that, their last good quarterback that they had, they go off a series of quarterback carousel where they have bad quarterbacks and elite defenses, and they're never able to get a draft pick for a good quarterback. They finally get one that is playing well now, and their defense falls apart.
Oh, trash. Cheeks. And they're expensive.
Yes. Yeah, the most expensive. Browns, Deshaun Watson, they bring him in. He's immediately horrible and then gets injured. And they also can't cut him. And they also have problems replacing him with their quarterback room. Seemingly, just like with the Steelers thing, seemingly for no explanation. And then the Ravens, they bring in Mike Green. Mike Green looks like one of the worst rookies in his relative draft class after being expected to be a steal, seemingly for no reason. And then their defense, which has been elite since the 2000s, is all of a sudden bad and very injury prone with no explanation for the first time I can remember.
I've never
does that seem like there's a curse going on? I don't know. It seems like a very consistent curse.
Some weird juju, man. Because I've never seen the Ravens defense be that terrible. But I think it was what started, I guess, a slight turnaround was with that Rams game. They were able to hold them under 20.
Yeah. They're starting to get it back together now.
Yeah. Like you said, getting some of these guys back healthy makes a huge difference. So
they're not going to get Matt BK back this year, no. I don't think. But
no, he's done. No, he's done.
Yeah. But a lot of injuries are going to start getting fixed, and then they're gonna look like a different team again.
Oh yeah,
and especially once they get Lamar back.
Oh yeah, and that'll be on Thursday. But them other teams in that division, man, and they kind of keeping that door open for Baltimore, and that's scary right now. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Vegas still believes in them.
No,
I get it.
Hey,
I get it. That's what I was saying before about I don't know what these teams are. Their Ravens are a perfect example of their roster does not reflect their record, or their potential does not reflect their record.
So do not be surprised if you see the Ravens down the stretch turn some shit around. Just saying. Let's get to our final and big topic right here, because there's some kind of coming down to the nitty gritty of these NFL candidates for the Hall of Fame class of 2026. If you can't see that graphic, I apologize. We'll kind of just go through it one by one. Quarterbacks, obviously the big one. Let's start with that one for sure. Drew Brees, first time eligibility. Eli Manning, and Phillip Rivers. Obviously, Eli was the final 15 last year, and this is Phillip Rivers' first time up. How you want to slice this one, Big Dog?
So my question for you, and then we can kind of go back and forth and talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think, if you were the one making the decision, would get in this coming year? Now, and when I say that, I'm saying within the way that they do it, which is typically about 4 to 8 entries.
Yeah.
If you could pick between that cutoff for players, and I think one head coach comes in, who would you pick and why?
Of all positions?
Yeah, you just take everybody from this list and then pick 4 to 8 of them plus one head coach.
Yeah, that's crazy. There's some hellified names in this class, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Eligible. Damn. Okay. Larry Fitzgerald to me is a shoe in. I would also say, ooh, I think Jason Witten is a shoe in too. Damn. Okay, Darren Woodson's up. Oh, he ain't in there. Troy Vincent ain't in there. Rodney Harrison is not in the Hall of Fame. Oh, this is crazy. That's super crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They got some names that need to be up in that joint. Like right now, well, what we doing? He's one of them. Okay, so Larry Fitzgerald, Jason Witten, that's 2. I would say Drew Brees is 3. He broke so many passing records. You got to put him in there. That's 3.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. If you had already put in Dwight Freeney, you got to put in Robert Mathis. That's 4. Rodney Harrison's 5. And I'm just going to put in Adam Vinatieri. I got to put him in there. That's 6. And then a coach is Belichick. I mean, I think that's a no-brainer.
Okay, gotcha. All right, I respect that list for sure. So I think Drew Brees is obvious and Larry Fitzgerald is obvious. I don't see anybody having pushback for those 2. Jason Witten, he's 4th all time in receptions, 2nd for a tight end, 2nd in receiving yards for a tight end. 2 first team All Pros, 2nd team All Pros. I think he's got to be in there. Eli Manning, and no, I'm not being a homer. 2 Super Bowls, 2 Super Bowl MVPs, stopped an undefeated team's perfect season against the people that everybody calls the GOAT twice. Only person to beat Tom Brady in 2 Super Bowls ever. Most passing yards in a playoff run in NFL history, and then like he's atop so many of the counting stats. So Eli Manning, Terrell Suggs, who I think should have been in last year. Terrell Suggs, all-time leader in tackles for loss, all-time. I think he's all-time leader in forced fumbles. Let me just make sure I got that right. All-time. He's 8th all-time in sacks. Yeah, all-time leader for tackles and loss. So yeah, I think that he's also 2-time Super Bowl champion. He wasn't the face of that elite Ravens defense that won the Super Bowl, but he was a very fundamental part of it with Ray Lewis and Ed Reed. I got to put him in. Luke Kuechly, I think should get in this year. Also didn't get in last year. I think he should get in this year. 2 DPOYs. Torrey Holt, I really like for it.
That's crazy. Look at that class. And so, like, just look at that wide receiver class right there, bro. Mm-hmm. Wide receiver class is crazy. Anquan Bolton, Larry Fitzgerald, Torrey Holt, Jimmy Smith, Steve Smith Sr., Hans Ward, and Reggie Wayne. And you could probably maybe in this class maybe get 2 of them cats in there.
Yeah. And for me, it's Fitz and Holt. I think they were the most dominant of that whole group in their primes. I wasn't really sure kind of how to square the time that Holt was a wide receiver too, but it was really only his beginning of the time.
When he was on the other side of another Hall of Fame.
Right, and that's kind of the thing where you have that debate of you can be the greatest wide receiver 2 ever. How much of a legacy is that? But he also was a wide receiver 1 for even longer in arguably the greatest offense ever. So I'm not holding that against him.
That was him and Ike Brute was wide receiver 1 and 1A, bro. Both of them cats was eating. You game plan for both of them.
No, exactly.
I mean,
I totally agree. And yeah,
that's what I was saying. If you put Ike Bruce in, at some point you got to put in Terrell, and that's why I put in Robert Mathis. If you put in Dwight Freeney, the other guy on the other side was Robert Mathis. So, like,
yeah,
they both ate. So, and that was attributed to both of them. But both of them had single talent. But when they're both on the field at the same time, they both ate at DN. When both Torrey Holt and Ike Bruce on it, dog. Oh my God, Greatest Show on Turf was one of the funnest times to watch football, baby.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And yeah, the reason why I guess I'm saying that is because I was kind of trying to decide how to square Reggie Wayne, because Reggie Wayne was a wide receiver 2 for the majority of his peak.
Yeah.
And so Torrey Holt wasn't. Torrey Holt was a wide receiver 1 for even longer. And he was elite at it. 2 receiving yards titles, 1 receptions title, one first team All-Pro. So, you know, he's up there. I mean, also the Super Bowl with Kurt Warner. Yeah, so absolutely him. And my last one for a player, Earl Thomas, as a member of the Legion of Boom.
Oh,
one of the best defenses.
Is that your hot take right there?
I think that's my hot take, yeah.
Because that's a bold one. Him over Rodney Harrison. We're talking about oh wow. Woo. Yeah, go ahead, drop your facts on this one. I gotta hear this.
Okay. I mean, my biggest reasoning for it is just like he was a fundamental part of one of the greatest defenses of all time, a defense that really did lead his team to the Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl win. You know, like I think that is a very fundamental part of his legacy. I think that because he was surrounded by so much great talent, a lot of people will overlook how much of an important contributor he individually was. But I mean, him as the center fielder, like that would fundamentally, the Legion of Boom is not the same if you subtract him from it.
He was the brains to the beast.
Yeah, absolutely.
I get what you're saying. I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
And then
I just wanted to hear your numbers on how you came up with these equations. So I like, no, that makes sense. Okay?
Yeah,
you need the brains to the beast when it comes to certain situations of such historic defense like that. Like, you just can't just be all y'all meatheads knocking the shit out of everybody.
right, yes. And then my head coach to get in, there's only one choice.
Oh my God.
The greatest head coach of all time to win multiple Super Bowls. Of course, I'm talking about Tom Coughlin, the true GOAT.
Well,
so that one's obvious. No, I mean, he did beat the guy you chose in 2 Super Bowls. So
I was about to say, remind the folks how many he brought to the Big Apple. I mean, you got to remind them who he beat. So I understand. That's why. I'm not mad.
Right, exactly. You're the GOAT until someone beats you, and then they're the GOAT. You know. No, of course, Bill Belichick's getting in. He's getting in first ballot.
Oh yeah,
but Tom Coughlin should eventually get in.
Yeah, no, I'll put the list up right here. Bill Armstrong, I ain't even gonna try that. He might be before my time. I don't remember that name. Bill Belichick, Tom Coughlin, Alex Gibbs, Mike Holmgren, Chuck Knox, Buddy Parker, Dan Reeves, Marty Schottenheimer, George Seifert, Mike Shanahan, Clark Shaughnessy. Not familiar with Clark Shaughnessy. Bill, I'm not familiar with him. But between Belichick all the way down to Shanahan, I'm familiar with all those coaches. Not familiar with Buddy Parker, so I'm not familiar with his game. But some good names right there. And when it comes to coaching, Mike Holmgren, obviously a disciple from San Francisco. George Seifert, Andy Reid, under what is that? Bill Walsh. They all come from that tree. So Marty Schottenheimer, He was part of my childhood. Obviously, love Marty. You know, there's a gleam, man. One play at a time. You know, he always had his little Martyisms. A very conservative coach. He one thing I wish that Andy Reid have a little bit of in Marty, and you know, he was never afraid to run the ball, but he's conservative. Hey, 4th and 1s, he ain't going for no 4th and 1, bro. Hey.
I know. It's less fun, but it does work.
Hey, he'll kick a field goal in a heartbeat, bro. Hey, sometimes you gotta respect that. Sometimes you take the points, man. Don't try to overthink the shit. So
now, I also did want to, in the context of us talking about the Hall of Fame, I did want to ask this question so we can have a little discussion on this.
yeah, go ahead.
If the NFL were to end after this season, let's say everybody's career stops after this season, who do you think is already a Hall of Famer that's in the NFL now?
Mahomes.
Of course, Mahomes. Yes,
They're putting that man in there right now.
yeah. Go down the NFL. We can go down the NFL players and coaches. Who would you say is now a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, both. That trio: Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis. They're in.
For sure.
Damn. Shit. I think you put in Harbaugh, John Harbaugh.
I agree.
I think Lamar Jackson.
I agree.
Damn. Who else you had on you? Who you else you got in mind? Because I'm still kind of going through a couple of people who I think might get up in that.
All right. So I have a list of people who I have a list of definites and I have a list of it's debatables, and then we can kind of debate whether we think they should get in or not. So definites: Aaron Rodgers, obviously.
Yes.
Patrick Mahomes, obviously. Travis Kelce, Lamar Jackson, Chris Jones.
Yes.
Derrick Henry.
Yes.
Christian McCaffrey.
Ooh. I actually might move him to debatable.
Really? I mean, what, he put like the record for most rushing yards and receiving yards in the same season.
Oh, never mind. No,
he has the offensive player of the year.
Never mind. I'm tripping. I'm high. Yeah. Yes.
Fred Warner.
Yes.
Trent Williams.
Oh, yes.
George Kittle. The 49ers got a bunch of them. So George Kittle. Your head turned a little bit at that one.
Well, because I'm trying to. I mean, he has put up good numbers, but it's like, but then he started doing the Gronkowski treatment on me, where it's like, bro, your availability be pissing me off, dog.
I mean, one of the best all-around tight ends in NFL history. In terms of the overall skill set. And for as long, he's been in the NFL doing it at that level forever.
Yeah, the dudes stay hurt though.
Okay.
And he's literally like giving me Gronkowski vibes without the rings, and that's really starting to irritate me.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, like, comparing him to Gronkowski is not a bad thing.
No. Because like Gronkowski got the numbers is crazy for Gronkowski.
Yeah.
It's what those numbers could have been like if he would have been available more. Those numbers would have been crazy if he was available more. Because especially his touchdowns. Like he would have shot that touchdown section through the roof. Like had he been more available.
Okay.
That's all.
I get what you're saying. Lane Johnson.
Yeah.
Lane Johnson's got to be in, one of the best right tackles ever.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill,
Okay, I can rock with it.
Mike Evans.
How did I not even think of Mike? 1K Mike? What am I? I'm tripping, bro.
Uh-huh. This is one that's been debated a lot, so I'm very curious what you think of this one. And after what he's done to my team, I'm not exactly happy with him, but Russell Wilson, I think is a Hall of Famer. I don't believe in playing yourself out of the Hall of Fame. I don't think that that's a thing. And that's most people's argument for why he shouldn't get in on people on that side.
I've always been like the type that I just thought Russ gets a bad rap. Now, is he like kind of quirky and like, weird? And yeah, but you know how many weird people there are in the world?
It's true.
Matter of fact, we're all kind of weird to our own personal weirdness. There's going to be some quirks about me that might be weird to other folks, or vice versa. So I never played into that. Like he's him. At least he's authentic. At least from like him being that weird, quirky guy. Like it ain't never bothered me. Even that season he had in Denver, which why I would never root against Sean Payton. He tried to make Russell look like he was some bum. That man threw 26 touchdowns and had 7 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Like that don't look like a quarterback that's washed. Could there have been better moments that he probably could have got rid of the football? True. Yeah, that's fair. But
right. And if people want to hold his post-Seattle years against him, you have to think also, Tom Brady, Drew Brees,
yeah,
both, a lot of quarterbacks looked bad in their last year. Imagine they played 4 more seasons than they did. They would look bad. Should that mean that should that subtract from their Hall of Fame career? Like, would his legacy be better if he had retired after Seattle? I don't understand why. He accomplished what he accomplished.
Hey, he's continuing to play. You know what still hasn't left is that accuracy on that deep throw.
Yeah.
And when I see that go, then I'm like, hey, Russ, because that's always been his signature throw. And that ain't gone nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say everything he did was great in New York for those first few weeks. It wasn't all bad. It wasn't all great. It wasn't just all him. So I mean, look, y'all gave him his time, and then y'all went to the Rook. That's okay. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna poo-poo and make it seem like Russ was so trash. So I'm actually okay with having Russ in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Because you still need a captain to lead that offensive side, the opposite of Legion of Boom. And for all account, that wasn't his decision to throw that ball against the Patriots in that Super Bowl.
Right. No, it's true. So Bobby Wagner, I have in too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Levante David.
Oh yes.
Von Miller.
Yes.
TJ Watt. Khalil Mack.
Oh, Khalil Mack, TJ Watt. Okay.
After breaking the record that he broke, most sacks for any player under 30, I think Myles Garrett has locked himself in. And this is a bit of a hot take for some people just because of longevity. I think Justin Jefferson's already a Hall of Famer. And I can make a strong case if you disagree. But do you disagree before we go into it?
I believe the impact is there. Man, he's made some magical throws, putting up some magical numbers year in and year out. You know what? I'm with it, and here's my argument for people who disagree. And if you're talking about the longevity case, all right, I really want people to put a microscope on Terrell Davis.
I was going to bring him up.
Go look at his run don't by all means, he put up some great numbers, but it was a short span, and then a couple of years after that man was out of the league because of his injuries. I mean, we're talking about maybe at tops a 7-year career, 8-year career, something like that. And what he did when he piled up all those numbers was probably like maybe half of those years, 4 or 5 years. But he happened to be part of a Hall of Fame team with a Hall of Fame John Elway and some terrifying guys on defense, with a Hall of Fame Shannon Sharp at tight end, with a Hall of Fame Ed McCaffrey at wide receiver. I don't think Rod Smith is in there as another wide receiver that was on those squads, but he was a prominent name in the league at that point in time. So if you're going to have that longevity conversation, I can bring up Terrell Davis in a heartbeat, and at the same point put Fred Taylor into the Hall of Fame, because his numbers at the same time that Terrell was doing that, Fred was out in the damn muck in Duval, not being seen on TV, piling up 1,000 yards for almost 10 years straight. So
yeah, so and that's the thing also, because like Gale Sayers is another one that I would bring up. Gale Sayers had 6 seasons, only one more than Justin Jefferson, but he is the rushing yards per game leader, or at least was when he retired. I don't remember if he still is, but that was his legacy. It was like, well, you didn't play for a long time, but you were so impactful for the time that you played. This is Justin Jefferson's.
That's a fair point. I feel you, Crafty South, but I'm not knocking Terrell Davis for his accolades. I'm just talking about the longevity point. Like,
yes, so okay,
Justin Jefferson has the Offensive Player of the Year award. Yes, the team success isn't there.
And that's not on him, right?
Yeah.
Like Davis got lucky enough to be on that team. Justin Jefferson hasn't been, and I think that's a stronger case for him. So this is Justin Jefferson's, in the short time he has been there, this is his resume. Most receiving yards per game of all time. He's surpassed Julio Jones in that regard. Offensive Player of the Year plus some MVP votes for that year. A 1,900-yard season. The fastest player ever to 3,000-yard games. The most receiving yards ever through the first 5 seasons of their career. He put a 1,000-yard season up through half of a season when he was injured, with Josh Dobbs being his quarterback for most of that time. He has done all of this despite having this group of quarterbacks: Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold, Josh Dobbs, J.J. McCarthy, and Carson Wentz. And I definitely am forgetting somebody, but like he's had other backups in there too.
Yeah.
And every single person who I named was either a backup before, during, or after their time with the Vikings, except for JJ, who had his first 2 starts there.
Yeah.
That has been his quarterback room, and that's what he's done with it.
The craziest thing, the best one of all of them is Sam Darnold.
Yeah, exactly. And we thought it was because of JJ.
Hey, I knew it wasn't going to work with Kirk, because there was in his rookie season, there was a throw in training camp that he threw, and he airmailed it, and Justin Jefferson, "Fuck Kirk!" What the fuck? I was like, it's gonna be on Jennings to make some miraculous catches.
And he does.
He does.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he has some of the greatest highlight plays of all time. And yeah, I mean, he's done so much in the short time he's been there. There are people in the Hall of Fame that have less impressive resumes than him, for sure. So I think that he's already a lock-in. If we're gonna do the longevity thing, and look, Terrell Davis had the Super Bowls. He had the Super Bowl MVP. It's not Justin Jefferson's fault he didn't have a Super Bowl winning quarterback that was throwing to him.
Still ain't got one yet.
Still doesn't have one yet.
Yeah.
And yeah, skill position players and also the other running backs that we named, some of them have MVPs. Skill position players haven't won an MVP since 2012. That's just not a thing right now. So that can't be used against him. But he got MVP votes in 2022.
Adrian Peterson was the last one.
Yeah. All right. So those are my definites. Coaches: Andy Reid, Kyle Shanahan, John Harbaugh.
Oh, you putting Kyle Shanahan in there? Right?
Yes, I am.
Wow.
He has made some of the best offenses ever, despite having quarterbacks that are about as talented as you and me. I'm being hyperbolic, but I think that's pretty insane. He's gone to multiple Super Bowls. I get that he hasn't won one, but a lot of the greats haven't. I don't think that can just be on him. Andy Reid, if he hadn't been gifted Patrick Mahomes, he might not have a ring either, and then we'd be talking about him the same way. But nobody is, because he got Patrick Mahomes.
Fair enough.
So Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh, Sean Payton, Sean McVay, and Pete Carroll. Do you disagree with any of those?
Okay, Sean Payton, man.
I know you don't like Sean Payton.
No, it's because we got to be real. That outside of that 2009 Super Bowl, man, there's a lot of missed playoffs in that resume. There's a lot of missed playoffs in that, in New Orleans, and we ain't. I hate when people want to give this man credit for Drew Brees' career. I'm like, this dude, Drew Brees was a Pro Bowler before he got to you, bro.
In San Diego?
Drew Brees was
not good in San Diego.
Let's not do that, dog. Let's not do that, dog. And then he got the shoulder injury. Come on, man. Drew Brees wasn't no slouch out in San Diego, bro.
Okay, hold on. Because I know that he wasn't good in San Diego. Let me just actually get the
you can pull the
stats to back it up.
And pull them stats up, man. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but because you gotta remember, I watched this division. So
yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
Phil was cool, but Drew was a killer, man, and he was tough. And
his first full season was 2002 in San Diego. He had a 60% completion percentage, 3,200 yards, 17 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions, for a passer rating of 76.9. The year after that, he had a 57% completion percentage, 2,100 yards, 11 touchdowns for 15 interceptions, and a 67 passer rating.
He looked bad. Fuck, Drew.
He did have one really good year. The next year, well, I wouldn't say really good, but good. 65%, 3,100 yards.
Running it around. There it is.
27-7 touchdown interception for a 104 passer rating. And then the next year, 64%, 3,500, 24 touchdowns to 15 interceptions. So it's a little bit of a dip there, 89 passer rating. Then once he got to New Orleans, first year in New Orleans, 4,400 touchdowns. 4,400 touchdowns, 4,400 yards, 26-11 touchdown interceptions, 96 passer rating.
Yeah.
The next year, 4,400 yards again. The next year, 5,000 yards. The next year, 4,300 yards. The next year, 46, 54, 51.
Hey, they was gonna throw that pill in.
Big gap at least in yardage. Big gap once he gets to New Orleans.
To be fair, he also had Marty Schottenheimer in San Diego with the LaDainian Tomlinson. I just told y'all what Marty Schottenheimer was going to do. And you got LaDainian Tomlinson, a Hall of Fame running back. So you're gonna let him tote that rock more before you let Drew Brees throw that ball.
Sure. That doesn't explain a lot of those interceptions that he had before getting there.
So I think it explains that yardage disparity.
Doesn't explain the completion percentage.
Oh no, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
And that's for the up until Joe Burrow all-time completion percentage leader, thanks to his years in New Orleans.
No, man, I ain't letting slide with that, dog.
All right, okay. I had a feel. I'm just saying, Drew Brees was not a very toolsy quarterback either. Just like Bo Nix isn't. Look how what Sean Payton's been able to do with Bo Nix and that team. Look at all of those guys on the team before and after Sean Payton got a hold of them. Were we talking about Nick Bonito and Quinn Miners and Zach Allen as Pro Bowlers before last year?
Probably not before last year. But definitely this year and last year, Nick Bonito's been on another fucking level, bro. So
yeah, and who's been his
Oh.
head coach? Anyway, okay, I like this though. I like that we have disagreements on this. And then to a couple of my arguables that I'm not really sure what to do with: Devontae Adams, Cam Jordan, Calais Campbell, Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow.
Ooh, nah, Joe Burrow. I don't. Oh, I mean, half his career's been hurt, bro.
Yeah,
I can't. I
get it.
I love the talent of Joe Burrow, but I couldn't put it. If just stop right now, I don't think he's done enough to warrant that one. I don't even, in my opinion, I don't even think that's a longevity conversation. Like literally, this man has been hurt half his career.
No, it's true, and he's done some amazing things during the time he's been there. But the sample size isn't that big. He is the all-time completion percentage leader now, but that's off of what, 4 healthy seasons up until this point. You know, he had last year where he led the league in all the passing stats. It's the only time he's done it. He did make a Super Bowl, but he lost in that Super Bowl. So yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say that he hasn't done enough to get in. Because also I think that the Hall of Fame discussions also sometimes it depends a lot on how strict you are as a judge versus how lenient one is. Because like the Basketball Hall of Fame, like anybody can walk in there. The Baseball Hall of Fame is very strict. The NFL's kind of in the middle.
Yeah, I don't want to say they changed the criteria, but it's almost hard to gauge how they voting. Because it's like what do they feel more important? Like example again, to bring up Terrell Davis, like how long like are they voting a certain way as in impact and no like I think Darrelle Revis almost falls in that category with Terrell Davis, where the impact was so impactful and it may not lasted forever or a long ass time. But damn, it was whoa.
Right. Yeah. No, exactly. So like, it depends on how much you value peak versus longevity, how much you value championships versus stats. You know, how much you weigh the team success against a player. You know, all of those things.
Yeah.
But who could, for those, since I have them in the arguable category, who would you put in and who would you leave out of that group?
Drop those names again real quick.
Devontae Adams.
I will put him in.
Okay. Cam Jordan. Off the Saints.
Yeah. The longevity's definitely been there.
Yeah. And he's, I think, 18th all time in sacks? I could actually double check that.
He loves sacking some Matt Ryan.
Yep. He's the Saints all-time leader in sacks, and yeah, he's top 20, I think 18th.
Oh yeah, he'll be in there.
Okay. Calais Campbell.
I think he gets in too. Love it.
Okay.
Definitely longevity. He's still productive right now.
Yeah, he is. He was I think when he was with the Falcons, he was their best defensive end. That was what, a year ago, 2 years ago.
He's back in Arizona now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's playing well for them.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew Stafford, which is
He's
kind
in.
of an interesting one.
I think
Really?
his numbers are climbing. He's starting to climb that all-time passing leaderboard. He's starting to climb some names.
Okay.
Because I think he's don't quote me on this. I can't remember what category that he is flying up that list. But he's racking up the passing yards for sure. Got the championship. I know people are going to knock him for not having the MVP, but the longevity's there. And
so let me make the counter argument to you to see how you respond to it, because I'm like, obviously I have an arguable, so I'm not 100% sure. He spent all of his time in Detroit Lions being a good player, bad team guy with good stats, but he never accomplished anything.
no, at the what, 1 or 2 maybe playoff appearances.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
He would be thought of very similar to like a Dak Prescott if his career ended there. Then he did win the championship, but he won the championship with one of the most OP defenses maybe in NFL history.
Sure.
And with Cooper Kupp, who got Super Bowl MVP over him, having a historic season.
Here's my counter to that. They swapped one position, only one, same roster.
Mm-hmm.
They got to a Super Bowl. They didn't win it. They swap a quarterback. They win it. Same roster.
That is a good point. That's a very good point. I mean, they also added Jalen Ramsey, but that's not the difference maker. Yeah, but that is a good point. Okay, I'm sold there. Cooper Kupp, also, since we're talking about the Rams,
he
has one Hall of Fame season.
That's what I'm saying.
What do you do outside of that?
Pretty solid seasons. Nothing. And then he hit 30, and then his body started falling.
Mm-hmm. Which isn't necessarily abnormal for a wide receiver, but he didn't. It depends. Do you think he did enough before then?
Man,
He's done.
Let me pull this shit up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Because all right, so you got 2,100. Obviously, the MVP season that he probably could have got in 21, Triple Crown season. That's that one. 2 years before that, 2019, he had another 1,100 season. Other than that, he's had a couple of seasons where he just missed 1K. I don't know, bro. I don't know. And he showed up big time in that Super Bowl too.
Mm-hmm.
Had a great run. Matter of fact, that playoffs had a great run. If they put him in, I understand. If they leave him out, I understand. That's my answer.
I think that's fair. That's very fair. And the last one, which will be the very interesting one to talk about, Josh Allen. Since you already did Joe Burrow.
Oh no, I think he'll be in. I think they'll respect the fact of where his completion percentage was at when he started as a rookie, and where his completion percentage is at now. And he's, managed to calm down on the turnovers. Added an MVP. His team's always winning the division. So I think they're both there.
Okay. I mean, do you think that just improving from being a turnover machine to not being one because you're throwing less would be enough to get in the Hall of Fame? I mean, I'm not necessarily saying I even disagree. Just, let's say Lamar wins that MVP instead of Allen. Allen has the same season, but the first team All Pro also wins MVP, which is normally the case with the historic numbers Lamar put up. Josh Allen's only legacy is a ton of touchdown records and making the conference championship to lose to Mahomes. Is that a Hall of Fame resume?
Hey man, there's going to be a point in time that Phillip Rivers gets into the Hall of Fame, and
that's crazy to me. I think that's crazy.
I'm just saying,
mediocrity should not be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, that's why I think there's the argument that Primetime brings up all the time. There needs to be certain sectors in this Hall of Fame. It needs to be the dog Hall of Fame, like, hey, these dudes different. They on some other level. And because he says it every year, he's like, you kind of look around like, how the hell you become a Hall of Famer? So maybe they need to break it off into a certain, like, the VIP room of the club. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah, I mean, like, having an upper room would be cool.
Yeah.
I do think that the downside of that maybe could be that incentivizes them to let people in more leniently, because then they'll be like, well, this person's not going into the upper room, so we could bring in Phillip Rivers because this room doesn't matter here.
But at the same time, I mean, it's not like you saw a Triple Crown all the time, and that's the most recent time we've seen that. So and that's why I'm having a hard time, because I'm like, the numbers aren't bad, but it's like, damn, like, that Triple Crown season was crazy. Like, you knew where the ball was going to. So, it's kind of weird, and that's why I was saying, when it comes down to how they vote, like, what's the actual criteria, and is every voter following that same criteria? Because some cats, I'm like, because for me, I'm gonna bang this to the hills, man. Fred Taylor should have been in. I'm sorry. Rodney Harrison should have been in.
Did you put Fred Taylor in when we were doing the who
No.
are you putting in? Because he's eligible now.
Yeah,
He
and
was one of the nominees.
And I didn't. He was a finalist last year, and I was hoping he'd get in last year. But I just think because he was doing it at the time where it was running back heavy at that point in the league. I mean, you had obviously he was running at the same time because how long longevity his career was. Other running backs in the league like LaDainian Tomlinson, Adrian Peterson. He was going. He was in the AFC. Priest Holmes was doing his thing at that point in time. Shit, man, running backs everywhere. I think that was at that point in time. Sean Alexander still was getting MVPs and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness. They had one in Green Bay. Amon Green was pretty good. So they had some running backs galore, and he was stuck in old Jacksonville, Florida, getting no coverage, and his numbers went under the radar.
Are you saying this in comparison to Josh Allen or Phillip Rivers?
More into like comparison of Phillip Rivers more, but
okay.
My thing is with that comparison between Phillip and Josh, obviously neither one has won the big championship, but obviously Josh has the MVP. But I mean, my man Josh Allen, he's a game changer. I mean, the man's been playing Superman in Buffalo for the last couple of seasons. Hey, anybody really paid attention to what they really put around him? If they take James Cook off that roster, if he gets an injury, they're dead in the fucking water.
No, it's true. No, and I get that. And I don't think that, because I've made the point many times here, I did earlier today, that football is a team sport.
It is.
These are team sports. I don't think that you need to have a championship to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. However, I do think that if you don't have one,
you got to be one bad motherfucker, boy.
Yeah, you have to have an MVP, or you have to have a bunch of first team all pros, or you have to have some passing records, or whatever.
The numbers look good.
Philip Rivers has none of that.
I feel you.
Yeah, Philip Rivers doesn't have an all pro at all. He doesn't have an MVP. I don't think he ever got serious MVP consideration at any point.
Mm-mm.
He's never even been to a Super Bowl. And because we did this, we had this segment once when last year's Hall of Fame. Philip Rivers averaged top 13 defenses his whole career, and he had LaDainian Tomlinson and Antonio Gates. He has no excuse for not even making a Super Bowl. So I don't know. I think that if Philip Rivers gets in, then Dak Prescott and Kirk Cousins might as well get in. Because at that point, we're just celebrating mediocrity.
Get ready for it. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, just having above average stats for a long time apparently is enough.
Well, hey, we've had this conversation a million times. I value winning over stats, but I do love it when your stats equates to winning. So there's going to be anomalies to that. Obviously,
right. Dan
Marino comes to the top of the head.
Obviously, he's a Hall of Famer despite the lack of a ring.
Yeah. I mean, you would be foolish not to put Dan Marino, think that he was ever. He had Hall of Fame written all over him before he even laced up his first play. So
right. Meanwhile, Trent Dilfer, Joe Flacco, and Nick Foles are not Hall of Famers, right? Like context matters.
Would never be a Hall of Famer in my eyes. They're not a Hall of Fame career.
Right. Yeah. So context to winning matters, but if you're not winning, there has to be a good reason.
Hey man. Hey, look. Y'all be seeing these on wildebeest bitches out here with kids. Somebody had to hit that. They got lucky that one time. All right. So when you see a trend there for winning a Super Bowl, that was just one time. All right. Mm-hmm. One moment of glory. And the NFL light. There it is. Ooh, there it is. You're welcome. All right. Ain't nobody checking for Trent Dilfer. Ain't nobody gonna be checking for Nick Foles.
Yeah, no. Jeff Hostetler is not getting into the Hall of Fame either.
There's levels to this shit.
Yeah. No, exactly. So yeah, it's not necessarily about the ring, but it's about accomplishing things.
Hey, you sometimes put it simple. Hey, when we played this team and we had to find out where he is at all times. If he's a badass wide receiver, hey man, we know who we got to cover. If he's a whatever position, hey man, game plan for that dude. Mm-hmm. If ain't nobody game plan or check for you, I don't think your ass should be in there.
Also, Philip Rivers has some of the worst fourth quarter stats of any quarterback of that level in NFL history. So very often it was actively his fault that they didn't win. Yeah, it wasn't just that he couldn't drag a team to wins. He was the reason they lost a lot of the time.
Yeah, but every time he was on the roster, besides Drew Brees, when they were sharing, I think, a year or so together, he was the best QB in the room. So
you should be on my side on this. That's a rival quarterback of yours. I'm sure you hated Philip Rivers.
I still do. I can't stand his ass. I'm just saying, sometimes there's those, I guess, emotional voters, and I can see them being emotional about that whole class. Like there will be a Ben Roethlisberger, Philip Rivers, and Eli all getting in the Hall of Fame.
All of which have very different resumes. Only two of those three have won anything.
Yeah. But
also, on this subject, how do you feel about Frank Gore as a Hall of Famer then? Because I think there's a very similar conversation with him.
His numbers says that he should be in there.
his counting numbers, his volume numbers do.
But that's what I'm saying. And,
Yeah.
and you can't hate on his longevity. If I put it to you this way, if we're going to always praise LeBron for being at a certain age for keep doing this at an elite level, like Frank Gore played, what, 18, 19, 20 years at an NFL level?
He did, but LeBron was a star
I
and
know,
dominant
I
for
hear.
that long period of time,
Hey,
or
look,
at least most of it.
I-
Frank
and
Gore was
get what
not.
I get what you're saying, and that, yes, that's a huge disparity in this analogy that I'm throwing out. But what I'm saying is, to play at the running back position in the NFL for that long, and it wasn't like he wasn't contributing; he was contributing every year.
No, he was. He got 1 second team All Pro. Like, he wasn't a bad quarterback, bad running back. Obviously, the question is, was he a Hall of Famer year to year, or is he a Hall of Famer as a totality of his years?
I think it's a totality of his career in general. It has to be because he didn't lose that star power. He didn't use that, and but I'm not gonna poo-poo on his career. That man did what he had to do. I mean, there's I bet you 1 million NFL players or football players that would have loved to have a Frank Gore career. Because that man put up some damn good numbers, and I'm not gonna poo-poo that. So, because he had to still be a commodity, he still had to produce to continuously get a job year in and year out, and that matters. So,
Okay, but then are we giving people Hall of Fames for being in the NFL for a long time? Because I mean, there are a lot of players who've been in the NFL for a long time.
I hear you, but I mean, people were still game playing in year 18. He was still putting up them numbers. Look, if he was just over there, if he only put up majority of those yards in like the first 5 years of his career, and then he was over there just just collecting checks and bagging stats, then I would be all with you, like, hey, man, get this. And then bum, I ain't no Hall of Famer, but man was still part of the. Hey, man, 21 Gore. Yeah, we got to put him on the ground. They was still to him, so I can't poo-poo on that.
Okay. All right, that's very fair. Is there anybody that we didn't talk about that for the Hall of Fame, either on the list or now, that you want to talk about in that regard?
No. I will say this: if you look at the names on that list, matter of fact, I'll pull it back up again. At each position, hey man, there's some dogs at all those positions.
Yep.
And when I say there's some dogs, and I think we're at that point in time of the NFL where it's going to be hard to get all these people in a certain time frame. Because, like I just said, that wide receiver position, somebody going to have to wait because of the numbers game.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody going to have to wait. I want to say this real quick. Nick Mango.
Yes.
No, it's to his family. I see his name on this list. If there was any time that I would say, man, like, hey man, let's give that family that gold jacket for that man. And I'm not saying like turn it into no spectacle, no Disney movie, but if for those that watch his career, and he was loyal to a bad franchise.
He was
to his own fault. The man was one of the, if not the best center at his time, one of the best. The time that he played, I loved. He was a mauler, man, at center. I love what he did. So I wouldn't mind that being the honorary Hall of Fame getter. I wouldn't. I would have no qualms with it. But besides that, both on the defensive side and on the offensive side. Man, dogs everywhere. And it's going to get harder because you're going to start seeing those other classes of people that's retired, because we're at that point in time, we're seeing, the cats that we watched now coming eligible.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the NFL talent pool was crazy. Like Antonio Gates, what? I remember your whole career, bro.
Yeah.
No,
it's true. I mean, honestly, seeing Eli there does make me feel old. Seeing Tom Coughlin there really hit me, because he was my head coach growing up.
Yeah.
Me first getting into the NFL. As far as I was concerned, he was the greatest coach ever, because he was the one that I knew.
And he was winning.
And, seeing Eli and Coughlin together now up for the Hall of Fame, it really does make you look back as both a football fan and as a man, and just I've been on this earth for a long time. And I haven't even been here that long, relatively, but you feel that,
Nah, for real. That whole mid 2000s era of football is now up for Hall of Fame. I mean, Urlacher went in a few years ago. There's other cats there. Damn, we're talking about peak Madden football era, baby.
Mm-hmm.
So no, this was fun, man. I had some good conversation, man. We ain't gonna keep y'all, man. We started a little bit early, but now we in overtime, so we ain't gonna keep y'all deaf, man. But this was great, man. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do for this class of 2026. Not sure. Oh, Super Bowl weekend, they start coming out to the finalists and who gets their gold jacket or not. So we'll find out.
Yeah,
at that point in time, Super Bowl weekend. So, but hey, y'all know where to find Randy if you need some audio needs. Panther on Acid on Instagram. You also know where to find me, I.O.W Sports Network on all social media platforms. More specifically, YouTube. Hit that like, share, subscribe button, folks. I keep showing the players some love. Other than that, y'all know what it is. Amen. Till the next time. Hey, it's your man Randy Weber, your man Wildcard Mar. We out here. Peace.
Yeah. Solid Hill TD, yes, what's up? Yeah, come on. I.O.W Sports Network, late night edition. Let's go. Come on.
We about to raise the bar. Wild card Mar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Lisaga. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card Mar. We about to